Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. I will call the Budget, Finance, and Investment Committee to order. And gentlemen, we will note the absence of Commissioner Jordan tonight and express our sincere sympathy to the family on the passing of his father and pass on our thoughts and wishes to them also. The first item on our agenda, to approve minutes for June 18th, which was our public hearing, and June 19th was for the review of the public hearing and final review of the budget.
So moved, Madam Chairman.
Commissioner Sandlin, thank you. Seconded by Commissioner P. All in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Thank you, gentlemen. Okay, we do have some general fund budget amendments, and the first one is from the Election Commission. Mrs. Nolan.
This is a request to move $4,000 from election workers to printing stationery forms to provide funding for the rest of the year.
Commissioner Jernigan, thank you.
Second.
Seconded by Commissioner Sandlin. Gentlemen,
Is this for what, to tell people where they're gonna be voting and
I
all
think
that
so.
stuff?
I think
that kind of
so.
thing?
I think so. So, you know, when they did that, it overdrew their account. You can see the actual date is $23,359, but they only had $20,000 available. So that line is overdrawn. So that's what we're trying to fix.
call the roll, please.
Commissioner Baum,
Yes.
Commissioner Jernigan,
Yes.
Commissioner P,
Yes.
Commissioner Sandlin,
Aye.
Commissioner Schaefer.
Yes.
Commissioner Ely.
Yes. County buildings.
This is a request for $2,000 from the miscellaneous gasoline account to county buildings gasoline.
So moved.
Second.
Commissioner Sandlin, seconded by Commissioner Schaefer. Gentlemen, would you like to do some of these as voice votes?
Sure. Yes.
Would that be okay? All in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Thank you. From our county clerk,
She's here.
Ms. Crowell. And your budget amendment, please, ma'am?
I want to transfer funds from line item 355 in the amount of $2,100, and for my postage, I need to add $1,600, and in line item 348, and then the other $500 in line item 499, which is other supplies and materials.
So moved, Madam Chairman.
Commissioner Sandlin, seconded by Commissioner Jernigan. Any discussion from Mrs. Crowell? All in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Thank you. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
We have two amendments from reappraisal. Mrs. Nolan?
Okay, you need to go over both of them?
Yes, we'll just do this one vote.
Okay. The first one, they had an employee to leave, and they had to pay out accumulated comp time of $426, but they did have funding in their deputy line item. The second one is to request gasoline from the property assessor line to reappraisal, $3,000 to move.
So moved, Madam Chairman.
Commissioner Sandlin, thank you. Seconded by Commissioner P. All in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Thank you. That motion carries. Mr. Robertson?
I'll do his.
Okay.
This is, his communications line is going to run short by the end of the year, so he is requesting $15,000 to increase that, and he found funding in his current budget. $1,500 from travel, $3,500 from data processing supplies, and $10,000 from data processing equipment.
So moved. I like in-line item there.
Come right in.
It's almost done.
I'll second it for discussion. What are the communication costs we're talking about? Is that paying the phone bill on cell phones or what?
Internet circuit for the entire county, several frame relay circuits out to any department any county building that has multiple agencies in it. We include that in this line item. Metro E circuit here for the county courthouse, EMA solid waste DSL circuit, Ag Extension Metro E circuit, several data circuits that comprise the county's network, as well as some phone circuits in buildings where we've put in internet phone service. And so some of this occasionally, some of this cost increase actually is offset by decreases in departmental or Ben Hankins' budget, for instance, in phone bills, because we pay less money for these concentrated PRI circuits than we do for running 50 copper circuits, for instance, into this building.
Well, the reason I was asking, I thought this was set on a bid and you had a set price. That's why I asked if it was phone bills. And of course, you just mentioned that, so I guess that's the difference.
Yes.
Okay, we do have a motion and a second, gentlemen. Any further discussion? All in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Thank you. And Mr. Robertson, you also have a contract with the Tennessee Department of Finance and Administration.
Yes, this is a contract for services which we will be purchasing from the state of Tennessee to be able to locate some of our most important equipment in the state data center, and happens to be in Smyrna, Tennessee, which is a very resilient, hardened facility similar to what you might see with large corporations that have giant data centers. It is extremely impressive and happens to be located right in Smyrna. This contract is simply an agreement that we make with the state in order to allow us access to that facility and to give us one 19-inch, 8-foot tall rack in which to place county computer equipment. If the courthouse were destroyed, we would be able to operate off of the equipment in the facility. So this is good from a continuity of operations standpoint. And we're already, or so far I should say, we're budgeted for this for next year. And I mentioned it briefly in my budget hearing, but we'd like to get the permission to proceed with the contract so we can begin to put this in place early this fall.
How much is the contract for?
$1,063 per month per cabinet.
Under C1A. Any other discussion?
What did we do 2 years ago with this? Because that facility wasn't there 2 years ago, was it?
Right. 2 years ago and even today, some of our equipment is redundantly located at 319 in the basement, underneath there. And so we actually have our financial servers redundantly located at the Correctional Work Center. So we spread things out as much as we can, pieces, parts, here and there, just to widen our physical footprint, i.e. just how much of a wide area is damaged, and you want to be further away than a couple of blocks.
Mm-hmm.
So yes.
Commissioner Jernigan,
Second the motion.
seconded by Commissioner Sandlin.
This is $1,063 per rack. You said we're just doing one rack?
We are just doing one rack. This is a bit of a joint effort with us and 911, and so I believe the Suffolk County Emergency Communication District intends also to purchase an entire rack, and we're going to, Director Steve Smith and I are working together and actually going to share the same data circuit so that we don't have double cost in that respect, and work very closely together to have this benefit both the 911 board and the county.
One more question.
Yes, sir.
Why is this better than putting it for free at 319 North Maple in the basement around at the Correctional Work Center?
Okay, that's a valid question. This is a bunker type of facility with generators larger than this room, multiple generators larger than this room that can operate for days and days on end. We have no generator backup power at 319 North Maple Street. There is some generator power, I believe, at Correctional Work Center, which is good, but we have limited rack space there as well. But this is a state-of-the-art 3 or 4 year old data center, and everything that means. There's a security guard located there. There's a razor fence around the perimeter. It is secure enough to house much of the state's important data resources, and so they have a space that they built out that they did not occupy yet. And so our thought was, if we can take advantage of a state-of-the-art, hardened, secure facility for this relatively small amount of money compared to what you would pay Amazon or others to host your services off-site, which we did look at that, by the way. There are others that provide the service, and they were nowhere near as competitive as this. As you might imagine, the state is not trying to profiteer off of this. It's just to cover their HVAC cost and power consumption and so forth.
Are there other cities or counties that are using this facility?
I think some are looking at it. I invited the state data center guys to come to a conference of local government IT professionals in Nashville a couple of weeks ago to tell them about our joint efforts, and they had people as far away as Pigeon Forge actually asking questions about using the state data center here in Smyrna. Physical proximity for me is a big plus. We can still walk into this place with proper credentials and fingerprints or whatever else. We can still walk in there and touch our servers and work with our servers personally. I don't know of any other municipalities or local governments that have done this yet. You can either determine that means we're innovative or we're crazy. I think it's innovative. I think it's something that lots of others will begin to look at in the coming months, Commissioner.
Thank you.
Yes, sir.
Any further discussion? All in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Thank you. Thank you, Mr. Robertson. Chancellor Record.
Okay, you've seen these types before, we had it again, but they're going to have another advertising Chancery Court, and so they're afraid it's going to run short. They won't have the money in definitely by June 30th, and they did have money within their data processing services of $2525 to help fund their advertising for the rest of the year.
Motion to approve.
Commissioner P., thank you. Seconded by Commissioner Jernigan. Commissioner Schaefer, did you have a question?
We did this one 2 months ago?
Yes,
Yes.
yes,
Okay. It'll be coming in after.
for sure, yeah.
Okay.
All in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Thank you. Correctional Work Center. Mr. Solandi. Mr. Solandi has 3 budget amendments, and Mr. Solandi, if you'll present those, we will take that as one vote.
Okay.
And the first one that we have is your gasoline.
Okay. We're requesting to decrease 700 from the evaluation and testing line 322. Also, another 1,000 from 205, the employee insurance.
And then your other was to pay some accumulated leave.
Yes, that we're requesting 2,065 from line 160, the guards pay for the employee leave. She put in a notice a couple of weeks ago, and she had some comp time. We want to pay out to 187. You said you had
Well,
Two.
really, yeah, those, I was counting the gasoline as two,
Okay.
yeah. Commissioner Jernigan, thank you. Seconded by Commissioner Schaefer.
We normally have a little give and take in the insurance right there on the employee insurance on everybody. Seemed like that was a pretty factuated figure on, to come down where you could, I'm proud we can pull out of some of these, but the employee insurance
I mean, it's, at this time,
at the end of the year is about the only time you can do
Well,
that.
we know when we do, remember the meeting that we try to do everybody's insurance after they've made elections. Now
Mhm.
we're at the end of the year, and some could have changed again,
Yeah.
you know, for events, family events. So,
All in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Thank you. Thank you, Mr. Solandy. Pet Adoption and Welfare Services.
and this is.
Mr. Gregory's here.
He's here.
Good evening, Mr. Gregory.
Good evening. We're asking to move $6,000 from the vacant position, our secretary line item, into our part-time line item to finish our payroll out for this year.
Motion to approve.
Commissioner Schaefer, thank you, and seconded by Commissioner Sandlin. All in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Thank you. Thank you, sir.
Yes, ma'am.
Mrs. Nolan, a miscellaneous.
This is for property casualty claims. We ran the numbers this morning to see what our third-party administrator has set up for reserves, and doing the calculations of what we've done to date will be will be short. So we're asking to put another $100,000 in it. And then Mr. Sandvig will also be putting more in it.
Only 50,000.
Yeah.
Well, 77.
Yeah.
So moved.
Commissioner Sandlin, thank you.
I'll second.
Seconded by Commissioner Key. Discussion? All in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Thank you. Ambulance service.
There's two amendments. In the first one, of course, what they pay out for their contracted services to collect their funds. When they collect more, of course, we have to pay out more. So this is a request to recognize $25,000 in patient charges to pay out the $25,000 for other contracted services is the first one. And then in the next one, that their part-time is going to run short. So they're requesting $11,000 from their paraprofessionals to move to their part-time.
So moved.
Commissioner Sandlin, thank you. Seconded by Commissioner Jernigan. All in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Thank you, gentlemen. And if you will notice on your agenda, items 4 and 5, is it okay if we take this together? We have a request for approval of assistance to firefighters grant.
Okay.
This is should we do it separately?
So we'll probably have to, she'll need
I'll
it
probably
done
have two different
separately.
resolutions.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Well,
Okay.
the reason I was saying, we have one for the EMS and one for fire and rescue. So we will deal first of all with the application for the emergency medical service.
Okay, this is a request to apply to the Assistance to Firefighters Grant for 12 cardiac monitors with the estimated cost of $264,000 and one ambulance, estimated cost of $125,000.
Grant be no matching funds, or is there?
On
I don't
this,
think there's any matching.
I don't think there is.
And you said this one is for the.
That's for
EMS?
the ambulance department.
The first two items would be for the EMS, yes.
Well, the cardiac monitors, they've had the money for that for a bit, haven't they?
No,
No, it's not what Mike said at budget time.
It's not in their budget.
Right.
Yeah, what did you say this was for again? I'm looking at a list, it's got five.
The first two, number
Just
1 and
the
2,
1 and 2.
is the one that they're applying on behalf of the ambulance department.
Motion to approve, Madam Chairman.
Commissioner Sandlin,
Sure.
seconded by Commissioner Jernigan.
I think Mike had put it in the budget. We took it out.
Yeah, we did.
And so we're
We actually-
coming back through
This
the grant
process.
here to try to get this done.
We actually suggested he look for grants, didn't we?
Yeah, yeah.
And, Madam Chairman, could we make this resolution say that it authorize us to apply for the grant?
Yeah.
In the event the grant is awarded, please give us the approval to execute their grant.
Okay.
In case we do it,
Yeah.
it comes through July or something, we're not here.
Or whenever it comes through, we won't have to
Yeah.
bring it through another
Yeah.
agenda item.
Yeah.
Commissioner Sandlin,
Well,
that
we'll
was your
have to, 'cause
motion,
we're in the
and
budget.
Commissioner Jernigan, that was your second.
Well, she's saying we'd have to, do it, but we'll be authorized to sign the agreement, the document, when it actually gets to us. It'll be a
Commissioner
while.
Bond?
There's no matching funds required. Is that correct?
I don't
We
believe
don't
there is
think
on
so.
this.
And if we were to be awarded these grants, would this be one of the ambulances that we've heard is we need, I mean, that we, for example, we've read about in the newspaper?
Well, yeah. But
I mean, it's that,
we have several ambulances that the mileage is increasing on, and this would replace one of those.
You know, a little difference there in mileage, which we're looking at all of them are diesels now, and diesel mileage wear and tear is not like gasoline
Not like gas.
mileage wear and tear,
So-
and that's a big misconception of, you know, you got 200,000 miles on a vehicle or something, and
We don't even have that many miles on there, 120, 30, 40,
on a
50,000.
diesel, it's not even broken in, you know, I mean, yeah, so.
But the bodies and the equipment on there
Yeah.
has sustained that ongoing
Sure.
rigor.
Okay, so we do have a motion and a second. Any further discussion relative to this motion? All in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Okay, and we will do the same thing again, gentlemen, for the fire and rescue.
And this is a request for a rescue truck, a pumper truck, and 2 sets of extrication equipment.
Motion to approve.
Commissioner P.
Extrication.
Second.
Extrication.
If she'll
Seconded
say it
by-
one more time.
Extrication, extrication.
Discussion? All in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Thank you very much.
There's a pretty good chance we may.
There's a chance we'll get some of that.
Some of
I'd
that,
be
but not
surprised
all
if
of
we
it,
got
yeah.
all of it, okay?
Gentlemen, we need to approve a letter of agreement for direct appropriation grant from the Tennessee Department of Finance and Administration for the drug court.
And the drug court received notice that it is in the state's budget to provide a direct appropriation grant to the Rutherford County Drug Court and Williamson County Drug Court to be used for their operational expenses, and each county will get $37,500. So this is a request to accept this grant.
So move.
Second.
Commissioner Sandlin, seconded by Commissioner Schaefer. All in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Opposed?
Was Ms. Snyder counting on this?
No,
this
this is not in the budget.
She had met with our legislators and others in that, you know, we thought there was a bit of imbalance in the amount of money we were getting and compared to some of the major, larger counties. And I think this is a way the state has decided they'll try to help 2 of us that have drug court programs to get a bit more of our fair share.
Mr. Sandy, we're ready for you. And Mr. Odom, would you join us, please? Yes, Mr. Odom, glad to have you join us. Mr. Sandy, we'll do your general purpose school fund budget amendments as one vote, and then we'll do that final cafeteria
Yes, ma'am.
fund separately.
Right. Our first amendment has a net increase of $846,833 in current year revenues. The increase in local sales tax of $1,650,000 is largely offset by a reduction in BEP growth funds of $1,260,000. And then the other revenues are up and down, just in line with better estimates of where we'll come in this year. The amendment increases fund balance by $722,131 and adds an additional $124,702 in expenditures. Most of the expenditures are in Board of Ed function and cover the cost of the superintendent's search, additional liability insurance contribution, and additional trustees commission. The recommended motion is to amend an additional $846,833 in 2011-12 revenues, an additional $124,702 in expenditures, and to increase unassigned fund balance by $722,131 as presented.
And B, staff, if we have no questions, gentlemen, we'll continue.
The staffing amendment reallocates $45,393 in already budgeted labor and $2,021 in benefits in order to fund 2 vacation payouts and additional scheduling time for our school attendance clerks. There's a new scheduling monitor module for the elementary group. And there's some other line item increases just to make sure everything's fully funded for the year. And $47,414 in already budgeted labor and benefits are being moved around to fund this. Recommended motion to amend $47,414 in increases to various staff and benefit line items and to reduce other staff and benefit line items by the same amount in order to fund these staffing lines.
Other expenditures?
The other expenditures, this is $499,010. They're all within major function and no new funding. The major items, $70,000 in regular education, other materials and supplies. More of the items we buy fit in that category now than in the equipment based on changes in the accounting standards. Slowly been moving that way. The state now recognizes that in the funding formula. So that,
Well, good.
yes, it took a couple of years. $80,784 in vocational textbooks. That is part of our adoption this year. $58,250 in other student support contract services, and that is cleanup between the other contract services and the governmental services. We have the additional expenditures for security coming in, and our athletic trainers are kind of mixed. Some we pay MTSU, some we pay NHC. I'm moving all of them into the other contracted so they'll be together. And there is the fourth item, $35,000 in special education program, legal fees related to a settlement. And item 5, reallocating $134,100 in maintenance, repairs, and services to the proper line items. That kind of, we view that as, Gary, you have this much money to work with on these type items, and then in the final amendment, move it to where he wound up using it. The recommended motion is to amend $499,000 in increases to various other expenditure line items and make corresponding reductions in order to cover projected expenditures as presented.
Vocational textbooks?
Yes. This amendment moves $483,405 from the regular ed textbook budget to the vocational budget. So we can charge the vocational textbooks to the proper function. We're reallocating already budgeted funds, and we're fine in our regular ed textbook line item. Recommended motion to amend $483,405 from the regular ed textbook budget, $71,100,449, to the vocational textbook budget, $71,300,449, in order to fund that adoption.
Okay, gentlemen, we need a motion for the general purpose school fund budget amendments because the next amendment is a different fund.
Motion to approve.
Second then.
Commissioner P., seconded by Commissioner Sam.
One other question back up under there, and I just kept thinking about it. The staffing part on the 45,000 in
Yes.
the vacation payouts.
Mhm.
Explain it to me just a little bit.
When one of our 12-month employees who gets vacation days
Right.
retires, he or she is paid out for those unused vacation days.
But this is 2?
We had 3 people retire this year. Mr. Gill and then 2 others retired.
And so they haven't taken a vacation in years?
Oh, no.
It's accumulated leave.
It's
It's accumulated leave
accumulated
that they
leave.
haven't taken over the years.
Right.
It builds up.
Yeah.
I thought we had a cap on it.
We do.
And
Well,
so-
I say we do. Now, okay,
We do,
view
y'all
it
don't.
differently. Well, we do. It can only go to a maximum amount during the year. But if at July 1, then it drops back. So
There's a slight difference
Yeah.
between the way the county
Yeah.
handles it and the way the school handles it.
Dr. Ragsdale set that up in his day.
Well, I'm just thinking, for two, and that's a lot of money. I mean, for build up and I just can't,
Well-
I couldn't see.
What?
No, it's not all going to that,
No,
though, is it?
one of them was $8,200.
And
And I don't, I'm looking at what I amended, and the other one was $8,155 that I was amending. The entire 45,000 is not those payouts, only those were two of the big.
That's incorporated in that.
Yes, sir.
And our policy is that with somebody as many years, 20 years with the, and above, they can have 42 days built up.
Okay.
That's our max.
I think Dr. Ragsdale modeled our policy after MTSU, is what I was doing years ago.
So the rest of it's just in the staffing lines?
Yeah.
Okay. I put it together as all of it was in
No.
student.
We have a summary sheet that indicates the unassigned fund balance for the general purpose school fund is gonna be around $18 million. Does this increase of $722,000, is that something we could add to the 18,
It's
or
all-
that's in the?
That is in the 18
Okay,
million.
this isn't unexpected since we
No,
stated.
no, we were expecting some amount of this. My estimate as of today, because most all of my payroll has hit 18.3. If revenues come in good, we might hit 19.3. But,
That'd be good.
and if it doesn't get real hot, it will continue that much more hot. But, if we come in $1 million high,
That's great.
oh, it's great if we do. I don't know.
Are they scaled back to a summer?
Oh, absolutely, sure.
Temperature thing?
When it's this hot.
Yeah.
And if you cut back too far, we get mold and mildew
Yeah,
problems.
yeah.
You got 4 schools doing summer school, you had 2 middle and 2 high school
Right,
also.
right.
Yeah.
I know there's stuff still going on, and so.
Okay, gentlemen, we
Thank
do
you.
have a motion and a second. Any further discussion? All in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Okay, thank you. Now, Commissioner, Mr. Sandlin, you have a cafeteria fund budget amendment.
Mr. Samick.
Samick.
I'm gonna turn it over to Mr. Samick, let him take care of it.
Thank you, Commissioner Sandlin. I appreciate your help.
This is one of those cautious amendments, and I didn't have time to look and check what my total came in today after payroll hit. I moved $50,000 to the line item for cafeteria workers and $2,239 in related benefits, just to make absolutely certain we were covered for our summer feeding program. We make a little money on that, but it's not much more than break even. And no additional funds were used, I just moved existing budgeted funds.
Is it being utilized? I'm sorry.
Oh,
I'm
yes.
jumping right in.
Yeah, we,
It is?
oh, yeah. Yeah,
There was a newspaper article on it about a little over a week ago.
yeah. Yeah, we have
Wow.
quite a few people who utilize that.
Okay.
And the recommended motion is to amend the 2011-12 budget by $52,239 for cafeteria workers and related benefits, and to fund the amendment by reallocating other labor and benefit lines as presented.
Motion to approve.
Commissioner P, seconded by Commissioner Jones. All in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Thank you. Thank you,
very
gentlemen.
much.
Thank you. Okay, members of the committee, we are ready for a final review of our budget. Mrs. Nolan.
Okay. The first one we're going to look at again is Fund 121. We keep showing you, if we were to close today, this is what the budget would be. Now, here we are 3 days out. This is where we're drawing our line in the sand. This is what we would recommend that we move forward into next year's budget for the DEA fund. asset forfeiture fund, special purpose fund. The last page shows, if you look at the bottom where it says available, in all the categories, it totals to $64,740. That is in available funds. And you should be able to trace those numbers back over to the front page of what the recommended budget would be for this fund, moving into 2012-13. $64,740.
And this is for the special purpose fund.
Yes.
Motion to approve.
Commissioner Sandlin, thank you. Seconded by Commissioner Jernigan. All in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Correctional Work Center.
Two items that we've put in the budget, and the mayor, I'm sure will speak to it, but we've added $150,000 to other contracted services and $27,500 for data processing equipment. And this is based on the bids received for medical services for the workhouse.
Motion to approve.
Commissioner P.
So the bottom line total is $3,692,875.
We need a second,
Oh, I'm
gentlemen.
sorry.
Seconded by Commissioner Jernigan.
I'm sorry.
Can we hear a little explanation on there?
Our current medical provider gave us notice that they were not going to continue those services, so we had to bid this, and this is a last minute kind of process. So we took bids a week or so ago, and the bids came in. We only had one bid, and so it's going to increase the net cost here to $150,000 plus this $27,500 will give us the same set of software to provide the medical records that will be compatible and the same as the sheriff's office is using at the jail. So we'll have a system that's completely together and consistent. So that's the point of that. Bottom line is we're going to pay a bit more this first year, and we'll have an opportunity to see after we get this started what it might be next year. But we will have a better medical service, no question about it. And we really need to make the changes. We're just sorry that we, at the last moment, found out it was going to cost this much more, but it's imperative. We don't really have another choice.
So our same provider out there is going to do this?
Yes, sir.
Out at the workhouse as well?
Yes, sir.
Any further discussion? All in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? County Attorney.
Okay, this budget is more in line with how the resolution was approved to extend the county attorney's fees, the county attorney's general services contract. And basically, what we've done is everything from line 307 down has been rolled into one number, legal services. The bottom line is still $259,000.
I'll make a motion to approve.
Thank you, Commissioner Baum.
Second.
Seconded by Commissioner Schaefer.
And I will tell you that the legal services agreement, the second amendment has been prepared by the attorney, and I reviewed this, and we've had 2 or 3 discussions, and Lisa's reviewed it, so this is consistent with our amended legal services agreement.
Any further discussion? All in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Opposed?
No.
No.
We have 2 noes. And our final numbers?
Our final numbers, from the last time that I presented this for you, there was another AFG grant that I had to pick up, so that's reflected in the revenue and expenses of $51,735. I think it was 27 last time I showed you. And then adding the workhouse, $177,500. Our total revenues, $72,231,188. Total appropriations, $76,069,450.
These are the changes since last presented on June 19th.
So
And
moved,
what we've
Madam
done
Chairman.
tonight.
Was that Commissioner Sandlin, seconded by Commissioner Jernigan? Thank you. All in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Thank you, gentlemen. We're ready now for the tax levy resolution. And the tax levy resolution states that at the fiscal year beginning July 1, 2012, our tax rate will be 2.4652 on each $100 of taxable property, and it will be conform to the following levies: County General, 58.4 cents; Ambulance Service, 8.29 cents; Highway Fund, 1.40 cents; General Purpose Schools, $1.14.3 cents; Education Capital Projects Fund, 4.51 cents; and Debt Service, 59.62, for a total of 2.4652. Section 2 states how business tax will be distributed. Section 3 deals with the sales tax revenue and how it is divided. Section 4, the wheel tax revenue and how it is divided. Section 5, the development tax revenue and how it will be divided. And Section 6, the interest earned and how it will be distributed.
Is the public works part of that rolled into the highway? Is that, okay?
Yes.
Seemed like we had that separately at one point, but
No, I
we're
mean,
wearing
it's
together
always-
now.
It's, yeah.
Okay,
it's-
okay.
That's where we run into trouble where we are in the
Maintenance of
maintain.
effort.
Maintenance
Yeah.
of effort.
Yeah.
And we're trying to figure out a way to get it out there.
I mean, and then that's where once you put that penny, or whatever it was that we initially put in, it's now local effort.
Gentlemen, that is our tax levy resolution for the proposed budget.
Move to approve.
Thank you, Commissioner Sandlin, seconded by Commissioner Pitt. All in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Thank you, gentlemen. And then our appropriations resolution for the general fund. This is how we plan to spend the dollars that are appropriated to the general fund in the amount of $76,069,450. The Economic Development Fund, $243,777. Solid Waste Sanitation Fund, $3,818,486. Ambulance Service Fund, $10,637,880. Special Purpose Fund, $64,740. Drug Control Fund, $638,600. Highway Fund, $9,378,799. General Purpose School Fund, $279,680,771. Central Cafeteria Fund, $18,033,200. Education Capital Projects Fund, $2,380, yes, $380.27. And Debt Service Fund, $41,651,683. The appropriations resolution, gentlemen. Commissioner Jernigan, thank you.
Second.
Seconded by Commissioner P.
Does that add up to $442,597,413? I didn't ever see that.
Okay, and that adds up to, yes, Commissioner Schaefer.
Yeah, I didn't see it in this one.
No, I don't think, it's not named in that one.
All in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Thank you, gentlemen. We do have one other item under business, other business, from Ms. Snyder at the drug court, from the Tennessee Department of Mental Health and Substance Abuse Services.
Yes, this is pretty much, we're just gonna cover all our bases. If this has to be approved by the commission, we're just gonna go ahead and get your approval. Ms. Schneider is going to, I think she spoke to this when she was here. Her facility is able to be used, people who cannot pay for services, if they qualify, the state will pay for them to obtain services. And this contract is what they will pay the county to provide those services. So, it's $50 for assessment. I mean, they're listed out, and this is what they are telling us, that they will pay us for those services.
So moved.
Commissioner Sandlin, thank you.
Second.
Seconded by Commissioner P. All in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? And you have a puzzled look.
Yeah, is that
Commissioner
what it
Schaefer.
costs, or is that somewhere
That's-
near what it costs, or are we just losing out big time?
No, I'm thinking that it's, that.
This is revenue we're not getting at all without this agreement in place.
Okay.
And this is her way of, we found a way to
Get some
get
of it
ourselves in a
back.
position where we are certified to do this service, and they'll reimburse us for these, at these rates.
We still don't know if it covers, right?
It's better than it is now.
Yeah.
That's $50,000 that we have opportunity for, that we're not getting any of that now.
Gentlemen, is there anything else that needs to come before our committee? If you will sign the letter as it comes around, Ms. Short will need that back. We will see everyone Friday morning at 9 a.m. for our meeting. Thank you. We are adjourned.